Team Kill Game.
What's good, duelist? Johnny Yakuza here coming at you with a deck profile for the newest deck I'm playing. It's not fully completed. I have a complete build on White Gold Pro, so as soon as I get done with this deck profile here, I will show you the exact finalized build on White Gold Pro. I am missing. There's a couple cards I'm missing, which is Nightmare Griffin, and I'm also missing Alice to the Northern Invoker, which we have not got released in North TCG yet. But other than that, the entire deck is completed, including the sideboard, which I'll showcase later. This is Invoked Knightmares, or a pure build of Invoked, and in my extra deck right now, I'm running a Nightmare Phoenix and a Nightmare Cerberus, which will eventually be replaced with Nightmare Griffin and Meltdown Invoker once I get those cards. Without further ado, let's get into this profile and show you what I'm playing in my main deck. Starting off with the main deck, we play 3 copies of Alice to the Invoker. He searches your invocation. He is the fusion plays of the deck. Without him, you can't fusion summon. Without being able to search invocation, you're not going to be able to fusion summon, so you need him at your disposal. Next, I run a tech choice, 2 copies of Gigabyte. The reason why I run Gigabyte is because its effect states if you control a spellcaster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it's great in link extender, because this deck doesn't, because the pure builds don't really have very many link extending cards, other than maybe playing the Scapegoat, which allows you to make the link, use the ghost to make the link summons off that. But for like actual monsters in the main deck, there isn't. Alistair just can't link off by himself into something unless he has another monster with him, so you have to use like him plus a goat token or whatever. But so it's just nice to have a tech option that have a monster that can be special summon, especially since Alice is a spellcaster. This works well. Summon him, then special him out, and you can make your link 2 plays, like you can make link 2 monsters, bottom right arrows, and then continue linking off of that with the scapegoats if you want to, or whatever you need to do. But definitely running this card at 2 is a lifesaver for me. I've been testing it, it works well. I tested it 3, didn't like it, so I kept it at 2 because 2 is like the better option. You don't want to see it all the time because it does state in the effect that you can only control one of these guys. So if you get multiples in your hand, you do have ways of getting multiples out. Like say if you use this guy here in order to like link someone with another monster you have and keep the Alistair still on the field, you're gonna take the other Gigabyte and special summon it. But you can't control 2 Gigabytes at the same time. So having 3 just makes the deck too cloggy, and I just didn't really care for it that much. Next, we're moving on to our hand traps, because this deck runs a lot of hand traps, 12 hand traps to be precise. We are running 1, 2, 3 copies of Cypher Gamma. And the reason why I run Gamma in this deck is because a lot of people are opting to play Drone Lock and Ash Blossom a lot more now, because a lot of the decks like to search. And I figured if I'm searching off a Magical Meltdown to get the Alice in the hand, and they decide to activate like an Ash Blossom or Drone Lock, I can just activate Gamma, get the driver, make an Omega, and then just drop the Omega, have a 28 beat stick, be able to banish it to leave the field, so I can get a card on my opponent's hand from going first, even going second, get a card on my opponent's hand, and it's just a good card. It makes the Omega, and it just helps with the plays. And then for my next set of hand traps, I'm running 1, 2, 3 copies of Drone Lock. I would be running Ash Blossom, but Ash Blossom's kind of expensive right now, and I'm a very budget player, so I can't really play the Ash Blossom too much. I can afford it. And also, the format, I think Ash Blossom in this format is going to be relegated to the sideboard, in my personal opinion, because Drone Lock just does what Ash Blossom does, but in this format, it does it better. Because yes, even though the opponent's going to be able to search a card, be able to finish the search, he won't be able to play any more search cards. So if he goes to the table of contents playing Sky Strikers, throughout the Drone Lock, sure, he searches the second Toon Table, but now he can't search the third Toon Table and search it to the Toon Cyber Dragon or Toon Cannon Soldier. He can't activate Brandish Startup Engage Sky Striker Startup Engage, because he can't search for the rest of the turn. So having this at your disposal at 3 makes for a very, very amazing card. And then for our next set of hand traps, we run 3 copies of Ghost Silver and Snow Rabbit. Probably one of the cheapest hand traps, or cheapest of the Ghost Sisters. If you want to get a super rare like I have it, it's like pretty much like 10-15 bucks for a copy. But I'm like super budget, and I already had these on hand ahead of time because I tried to pull them a while back when they were cheaper, and really no one was playing them. But yeah, this is definitely a good card. And then we run 3 copies of Effect Veiler, because I don't have the money for Infinite Impermanence, and Effect Veiler just does what Infinite Impermanence does. Not as good as Infinite Impermanence, but if you can't afford it, Next best option would be the Effect Veiler. I would probably play, if you couldn't afford the trap card, I would play the Veiler instead because it's cheaper. You can pick these up for like $5 for the super rare or the commons. And for the last monster in the main deck, we run one copy of Sideboard Driver because you need the driver to make the Omega, because you need the driver for the Gammas to make the Omega. And now we'll round off all the monsters in the main deck. Moving on to our spells, we run 1, 2, 3 copies of Magical Meltdown. This searches Alistair in your hand. This baits out the Ash Blossom. It baits out the Ghost Ogre. It baits out the the Glowing Lock. It baits out any of the opponent's hand traps. Unless you get this card with Gamma, you're pretty much guaranteeing on your, if you're going first or going second, you're guaranteeing that Omega. You're guaranteeing to get a card in your opponent's hand. They have one, and it's just a really good card. You're guaranteed a 20 beat 6-1. And then you can just open up your extra monster zone. When Omega comes back to the field, it's going to come back in the main monster zone, so you can open up to make your fusion plays. And then we run 3 copies of Invocation. I got these when my tax return a while back, so they were really relatively cheap at the time. They're now a little bit more expensive than what I paid for them first when I did buy them. But this is your extender. This is your fusion plays. Without this card, you cannot fuse summon into your Invoked fusions. You need this. Much better than Polymerization, in my personal opinion. And then I run 2 copies of Terraforming, because I gotta go search Magical Meltdown. I played it at 3, and to me, it was bricking. I was like seeing, like I would open up 2 Meltdowns and a Terraforming, and I'm like, okay. Or I'd open up 1 Meltdown and 2 Terraformings. And then, yeah, Terraforming, I can bait the Ash out, I can bait the Glowing Lock, but then I can't search after that. If I don't have the Omega, I can't search. If I have too many Terraformings, then I'm not seeing more of my hand traps to stop my opponent. That's not good. So I want to see less Terraformings. I just dumped it down to 2 because I got to be better that way. Next, I run 2 copies of Call by the Grave. This is pretty much a spell version of Gamma. In my personal opinion, I like to call it the spell version of Sidefinder Gamma. This basically gives me like 5 Sidefinder Gammas. 3 of them are able to make Omega, and 2 of them, well, they're not able to make Omega. They're able to get the hand trap out of the grave, which then indicates they have their hand traps and other stuff like that. This is what it's mainly used for. It's used for hand traps. And if you're playing the mirror match, you can also use it to stop the Alistair. If they have an Alistair in grave, your opponent summons the Alistair from their hand, and they go to search Invocation. You just banish their Alistair from the graveyard, and their Alistair on the board has its effects negated completely. So that's definitely something you want to look into. If you're playing Invoked, and then you come across the mirror match or whatever. Then I run 2 copies of Pot of Desires, or as I call it, Pot of Brick City. I don't really care for playing Pot of Desires too much, but it's just a good card, and it's something it's something I want to play, it's something I'm playing because it's just banish 10, draw 2, you get to draw 2 cards. What else is there to say? Then 3 copies of Scapegoat. This is your Link play card. This is the card that gets you to your Borolo Dragons and your Sayudras, and your Link 4s and your Link 3s. This gets you to where you need to go. Without this card, the deck probably wouldn't be able to link someone as fast unless you had some really ridiculous engine you can put in there, like say the Brain Fusion with the Predator Plants work. I was testing with that, and it works, but when you get Ash Blossom, or when the Ash Blossom hits the board, hits the graveyard, and it stops the Predator Plant Scorpio's effect, or it stops the Lone Fire's effect, and you can't stop that because you go Lone Fire, trigger its effect, tribute it, and they go Ash Blossom, or you go Scorpio, trigger its effect, and you put your card from the hand, and they go Ash Blossom. You have that Gamma to stop them. Well, you can't stop them because Gamma can only be summoned if there's no monsters on the board and control no monsters. So, again, still a good card. So I played it over the Korean Plan engine. I played 1 copy of Monster Born. This Monster Born is back to 1, and it's really good to play at 1. I think it's a really good card. I think my personal opinion, since we have so many Monster Borns running around now, we have the Monster Born Reborn, we have the World Legacy card that lets you reborn a monster to its own and link monster points to. I think this could come back to 2, maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, that's my personal opinion. I like Monster Born. But anyway, moving on to the last set of spells, we run 2 copies of Foolish Brittle Goods. This is another attack option, and this is strictly for I play this strictly because of that card. Because if my opponent banishes my Alistair if I use Alistair, I pitch an Alistair to the graveyard from my hand, to increase the attack of a fusion monster. Then I just normal summon an Alistair from the hand to search Invocation, and he calls to grave my Alistair. Well, I'm not going to be able to make the loop because I can't get the Invocation. And what this does allows you to dump the Invocation. My camera, the battery was dying, so I have it on the charge right now. But yeah, back to the profile at hand. The reason for Fool's Bro Goods, like I said before, is for the fact that people are playing the Call by the Graves, and if it stops the Alistair, why not use this to get an Invocation to Graveyard to go ahead and make the actual, get the ability to get the Alistair from the bench on back, because they're going to banish anyway. But that being said, we're done with that's all it is for the spell cards. For our traps, we are running 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 strikes, 1 warning, and 1 judgment. Our Solemn Brigade. This allows the deck to go first. The deck can go second, but it also allows the deck to be able to go first, which I think is really great that the deck can do that. Strike self-explanatory, turn life points to get a monster effect of the summoning or summoning of a monster. Judgment, best card, best counter trap ever made, and strike it once, so why not play it? And then warning, of course, can negate any summon as long as it's any summon any card that allows you to summon a monster. Card effect or whatever. So, Solemn Brigade is really good. Add to that, we're going to move on to our extra deck. Like I said, the extra deck has got 2 cards in here that should not be in here, but they're in here anyway for the time being. Plus, I'm also needing to get my Borolo back from my brother. So, as soon as I get that back from him, that's also in the deck. So, the deck currently consists of 14 cards in the extra deck. So, let's go ahead and move on to the first set of cards. We have 5 Fusions, 1 Purgatrio, 1 2 Macabras, and 1 Magalenica. As you noticed in the main deck, I'm not running any fire attributes, and I'm still running Purgatrio anyway because my opponent does do the Ash Blossom, or is playing a fire monster as a tech option in the deck or whatever, like say the Kagari, which is also a fire monster for Sky Strikers. I can banish it with Invocation to get out the Purgatrio and go for the OTK plays with that. And of course Macabra, it's in here because all of our hand traps, except for Throwing Log, are all light attributes. The entire main deck of monsters, except for Alistair, Throwing Lock, and Gigabyte, are all light attributes, so we can always banish one of our hand traps that we've used to get out the Macabra. And of course Magalenica, it's a 3 grand basic, has no effect, but since we're playing like Lynx Fighters and we have Earth attributes in our extra deck that allows us to get to this monster, I figured this also works well for the OTKs. Now, I'm running 1 copy of Cypher Lord Omega for the Omega plays. I'm playing 1 Linkuriboh. This is supposed to be a Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, once I get one to put in here. Then I have the actual Proxy Dragon that's in this deck as well. 1 Nightmare Goblin. This will become the Nightmare Griffin. This will become, eventually, the Alistair the Meltdown Invoker. And then we are running 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Summon Sorceress, 1 Saryudra, and we are also running 1 Borolo Dragon, which I don't have yet. But in all, these 2 cards right here, or these 3 cards are being replaced. This is going to become a Trishula, this will become the Meltdown Invoker, and this should become the Nightmare Griffin once I get one. And I already have the requirements for all that and everything, so that's all set to go. But that is the deck profile for this deck, and I'm going to go ahead and go straight to Wygo Pro real quick and show you guys the finalized version. This is just something I wanted to show you the actual deck build of what I had so far, and then now we're going to go to Wygo Pro and I'll show you the actual full finished deck. So let's go. Alright guys, so we're here with the deck profile on Wygo Pro. To show you off, just to give you a quick recap of what you saw on the actual IRL profile, we have the driver, the 2 Gigabytes, the 3 Alice of the Invokers, the 3 Ghost Ogres, the 3 Gammas, the 3 Drawing Locks, the 3 Effect Failures, the 2 Pot of Desires, the 2 Foolish Goods, 2 Terraforming, 3 Invocation, 1 Monster Born, 2 Call by the Graves, 3 Scapegoats, the 3 Magical Meltdown, the 2 Solemn Strike, the 1 Judgment, and the 1 Warning. And then for the extra deck, getting a recap up to the point where I show the new cards, we have the 2 Macabras, the 1 Magalenica, the 1 Purgatrio, and then the addition of, which will be in the deck, Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. This card is just good. If you have Alistair and Gigabyte in hand, and you have a summon source on the board. You normal summon Alistair, special Gigabyte. You summon sources affect the target the Alistair. Special from the deck, the Effect Veiler, which is a 1-star tuner. You now have 1 tuner plus 2 non-tuner monsters whose total levels equal 9, which will give you the Trishula, which I think is amazing that you can do that. So I've had to add this card to the deck. Plus, it's Trishula. If you can make Trishula in your deck, in your deck build, then by all means run it in your action deck because it's so worth it. It does work and it's so worth it. And of course, we have our Omega for our Gamma driver plays. We have our Borolo Dragon. Our Soyuz to draw 4, then 3 at the bottom of the deck. You'll be able to increase monsters that are summoned to the field by 300, and then special summon a monster once per turn. Then we have Nightmare Griffin, which is the other addition I didn't show you in the actual IRL deck profile because we didn't have it in there at the moment. But yeah, being able to have a Griffin and then put Macabre underneath the Griffin, and be able to negate cards with Macabre, and be able to have the Griffin to prevent your opponent from being able to activate special monster effects from special summon monsters that he's not pointing to, is pretty devastating. And of course, the summon sorceress here, the Troymere or the Nightmare Unicorn, and then we have the inclusion of Magic Arrows to the Mouth and the Welker. It wouldn't be an invoked deck without the invoked Link monster, so I figured I would run the invoked Link monster at 1 because I can search the Alistair. Not Alistair, but I can search Invocation off of this guy by pitching a card, so I can easily pitch a card from the hand, search Invocation, and use him as actual Alistair to make another fusion play if necessary. And then we have our Proxy Dragon, we have our Nightmare Goblin, and we have our Link Karibo. And then for the sideboard, which I'm playing this actually as my actual sideboard in right now, we have the Winged Dragon of Raw Spirit mode at 3, the Artifact Lancia, the Regeki, Dark Hole at 1 because they're legal at 1, the 3 Heavy Storm Dusters. I might take this out for Awakening the Dragon. I'm thinking about putting Awakening the Dragon in my extra deck, my main deck, because I can easily get out Trishula and Omega with it, so it makes sense. Then we have the 2 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance. This is just to stop Sky Strikers. We already have enough support to stop Sky Strikers with the Gammas, with it being able to Omega one of the cards in their hand to unlock their board, Ghost Ogre, their Link monsters, or whatever. So we have the options in the main deck, but this just gives us the extra options for Sky Strikers, and any spell heavy deck in general. And then last but not least, we have Red Reboot, which is the last, which is at 2 in my sideboard, and the last card of my sideboard. But anyway, you guys, this has been my deck profile for Invoked Nightmares. I know I'm only running 3 of the Nightmare cards, but still, it's considered a Nightmare extra deck, so along with the fusions. I do run 2 synchros because I can make them. Figured why not? I like the deck profile. If you like this deck profile, smash that like button. As always, subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. I will be posting a pack opening this Thursday, guys, and hopefully next Tuesday I'll be back doing a replay Tuesday, actually showcasing a replays of this actual deck. But if you like this video, smash the like button, subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. I am Johnny Akuso, and have a great day and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out, guys.